y'all, welcome back to Spirited Outdoors. I'm hanging these traps right out here. I need to pull this one back just a little bit, keep it off. I'm trying to keep away from my hides and stuff. Turn y'all a little bit where you can see it. I told y'all I was gonna prep them. Now these are Duke 1 3/4 brand new traps. I only bought 4 of them because y'all, I trap enough to catch a few things that I want to fool with. When I first got into it, you could get $5 for a coon, and a few things like a coyote was worth $20 or so. You could get 30 or 40 for a bobcat or a fox or a otter. Now you can't get good prices for anything. So I trap enough that I can get out here and tan a few furs. Like this buckskin, I pulled it back out of the refrigerator a while ago. I hadn't been able to work on it since Thanksgiving, so I'm working on letting that dry out where I can start back softening and stretching it. This is the one that I'd put in the freezer last year. The other one is still in the pickle. You can leave something in a pickle for a while and not have to worry about it. I've got starting fluid right here, y'all. That's what I degrease these traps with. I done some of them, and my can's just about empty. In fact, it ain't gonna spray anymore at all. I done run it out. But this dries good. You can wash that oil and stuff off. When I was mechanicking, starting fluid is what we washed everything with. But you could buy a can for 50 cents then because we was buying it by the case. Of course, you know, they contacted us, want to know how much dope we was making out of it. And we told them none. But this, you can wash that off. It evaporates real quick. So that's one of the benefits of that. And I'm going to just spray paint these. I am a huge fan of the nostalgia of the old time ways. So I like boiling traps, black walnut dyeing them, and waxing them. And I mean, it's just the idea. I did not do that this year because y'all, my pottery's wide at this time of year. And I know y'all get sick of me saying that. I don't have time in the fall to do all the things that I enjoy. But paint, and I have got to adjust that pan tension on that. I'll do all that after I get through painting. I may need to touch it up now. Take a, you got a screw right here. And I like mine fairly loose. I can about tell by feel, but you have a nut and a screw on there, and I just back it off just a little bit. You can paint these traps any color you want to. If y'all follow Trapping Girl, some of you guys that trap a lot probably follow Trapping Girl up in, I think, New York. She paints all of hers pink. Nothing wrong with that because most of the sets that I do, I bury the trap, completely cover it. No animal's going to see the color of it. In fact, a bright color helps you. If you're driving by where you just can glance over there at your set to see if it's been tripped or set and you don't want to get out and walk up there and look at it every time, it's a good idea to paint it a bright color. Fluorescent orange, yellow, whatever color. I know somebody said yellow wasn't good because of fall leaves. You know, the leaves turn yellow and fall and you couldn't, it mixed in with them, blended in. So some color that stands out. I'm painting black because I've got an extra can of black paint. I did not want to waste my OD green, and I don't paint a lot of stuff black. But the reason I'm painting black is they will blend in. When I hang all my traps up, you can't tell if I black walnut dyed it or not. So it's more about nostalgia. And I just happen to have some black paint. You believe that just quit? Now, after much air pressure, I got the nozzle cleaned out. It wouldn't fix it till I got it up to about 60 pounds of air pressure. I got the nozzle cleaned out now. So now we can continue with our painting. And there's a rule now, if you're going to spray paint anything, you got to get it everywhere or people won't know you've been painting. Now I will add some more chain and another swivel to these. And I'll probably wind up moving my swivel to the bottom. I like mine all center swiveled. So, and we may go ahead and center swivel the other one while these are drying. I think I did this in a video last year, but it don't hurt. We'll make a nerding. I'll pull these chains off though. We're gonna have to open that. You can take your screwdriver usually and open that up enough to get it out. Sometimes that may not work today though. It did. All right, we got that out. So what I want to do now, usually I'll go back ahead, and I don't know if y'all could even see what I was doing, but I spread that open and took this out, my chain off. So now I have a trap with no chain. I will center swivel this to where I can drop this back down in the center right here, and my swivel will be here. I'll get over here where you can look. See if I can keep this. Now you gotta watch, you got these tack welds right here. See them 4 holes? Getting a light where you can see. You can see these 4 holes. Well, that's where they tack welded that. It's hard to drill in that tack weld, so you wanna go right under where it says made in Korea. I know y'all really like it. So we're gonna go right there dead center. Some people say all that weakens your trap up. I hadn't really found that it does. All right. Now, okay, I got my nail bent like I want it. And there's 1,000 different ways to bend them nails, y'all. And you just kind of gotta snake it. There's some young'uns down there working on some 4-wheelers. And their means of working on them is tearing the mufflers off. They like it though, so it ain't hurt nothing. But that's what y'all are hearing in the background. It really ain't the Army landing out here with a helicopter. All right, I got that in there. I'll put my chain back on that. Once my chain is back on there like I like it, I close this up with pliers. And then I'll show you how I fix it like I like it. Let me straighten it up just a little bit. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. See how I stuck that up on the horn of my anvil? Let me get my pliers where I can hold that without smashing my finger. You know, I don't mind smashing these pliers right here. I just can't hardly stand smashing my finger. It may not bother some of y'all, but it do me. All right. I just like to squish that a little flatter. Oh. And then once I got it, y'all like squish. And this is a El Cheapo pair of pliers. They bend about as much as my nail. Oh. Y'all, you can put some torque on that. A lot of people say, oh, he'll pull that out. He gonna have to do a lot of snatching to pull that out. Now, what I don't want is when you look up inside of there, you wanna make sure that that pan will go all the way down with that nail pushed up, okay? Because if it pushes up to where your pan's hitting it and it can't go down and set that trap. See, I usually go about this. I hope I don't hit my camera there. Yeah, I'm bumping it. Y'all don't know it, but your arms anyway. Okay. Is that the one I use? I had to go find my other little file. This is a little bit smaller than that. Thus, it is just a fraction narrower. I don't know which size this is. I know some of you guys know the names. Anyway, I'm going to tell you this little tip. This is for your Christmas lights. I had this file out there because I got a Christmas tree that I built out of an old pallet. I know you're supposed to make a coffee table out of an old pallet, but I made a Christmas tree and painted it green. I've made it a couple years ago. I took a stapler and stapled the lights all in a pattern on it and made this wood Christmas tree. Sits out in the yard. It's got red lights stapled to it. Well, I wanted to move it further away from the house, and I got everything rigged up on timers. Well, those timers just accept those double prongs. So for an extension cord, obviously we had some strands of Christmas lights that don't work. Don't throw them away. They make excellent extension cords to move your Christmas decorations further out or to reach over here, because you don't want your string of lights lit up all the way across, running across the ground out to what you're going to use. They still tote power. They just ain't burning the light. So I had to file my plug in on them they got them big bulbs. I had to file that plug in on one side down where it fit in the end of that old Christmas light. And that's why I left it laying out in the yard like a young'un. But anyway, right here, you don't want to do a whole bunch. Let's see if we got that. I have showed y'all this before. Most of you trappers already know, but let's see. Right there. You see right here, I made a little notch. That's for that dog to come in and hear it click. I'll show you how it works. If I can get it in focus. See how that clicked up right there? I may need to file this one just a touch more. I don't like the way I don't like how it feels right there. I'm going to put a little bit more of a notch on it. But you don't have to do a whole lot now. A couple of licks takes off a good bit of metal on that little deal. All right, let's set it again and see. We're going to set it right up here by this shed. See, it clicked that time and went to night. So you got a level pan. Everything is perfectly level. It is set to night. And then along comes Mr. Coyote, our neighbor's dog. All right, I went and found some old rusty chain I got 2 separate pieces. And this is off of dog chains that I about wore out. This one is questionable. You see how them links has got wear in them? That ain't really the one I want to use. This one right here, though, is in pretty good shape, and that is way more chain than I need. So what I'm going to do is just half it. So I need to cut this link in two. Oh, I got to have my $2 glasses. That's what I'll stake my life on right there. Oh, got them out. Let that fall on the ground. All right. Now then, we get that hooked on there. All right, so now we've got at least two points of swivel here. And that is important for not harming animals. I like to trap. I don't mind walking up there and blowing his wick out, but I don't want to hurt his foot. You know what I mean? Makes sense to you? All right. I figure it clear as mud. All right. Now we can take one of these down here. We got to go over there and scratch the paint all off of it. Now we got another one right here we're going. So, I didn't get all that painted, but it don't matter. We'll get it later. We'll let that dry, and I ain't really worried about that rusted chain. But the paint is more for protection from the elements, because I'm bad to forget and leave stuff out in the weather. In fact, I just went and got pulled two of these can traps up because it's raining and wet. I tried to actually pull them up here the other day, and the stakes was so hard down in the ground, so you can see the kind of shape they getting in. But they've been out since back during gardening season when I was trying to catch coons down there around the corn. So, got to get them ready. But we're going to put out a few traps. My trapping this year is going to consist of a few coons because I have got to get a handle on them. I had to thin them out and work on them during gardening season, and you can't really do nothing with them then, so I was transporting. Right now, I don't mind skinning them out. We'll make hats. We'll make something. We may make some hats and sell them. I don't know. I do want to catch a fox or two because I seen one the other day. I walked up on him. Of course, I couldn't get a shot at him. And I got to work on the coyotes. We don't have any turkeys hardly around here. I see like 3 hens early in the spring, and there was about 8 of them at one time, and 3 of them was white right here on our property. No gobblers at all. It was all young, but there's obviously gobblers coming through. But I don't really turkey hunt. I don't care nothing about turkey hunting. I enjoy it. I just don't like to eat turkey. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Now, everybody says, oh, turkey nuggets are great. They probably are. I just ain't a big fan of turkey. And if you ain't going to eat it, I don't care nothing about killing it. So, but we are going to try to help the turkeys. So, on the flip side of that, we're going to kill the coyotes. And the coons, they working on them. And the coons is working on my garden, so. One more thing I noticed that I wanted to show y'all. And I need to turn it this way to do it. I don't want to squeeze them springs too much. You see these 2 springs right here? That can slide straight out. I like to take this, and you got to be careful where it bends. I don't have enough pressure on it. I don't want to put no pressure on my springs. I'm going to have to turn it. I tell you what. Y'all get over yonder and look. Let me right here. That work more gooder. Okay, you see how that goes in? I want to bend that. And that is a hard piece of metal, mind you. And it ain't got to be bent a lot. I just don't want it working its way out if something gets on it. Dog tear up your trap if he wants. If he's a mind to. But that's enough. You see how I just banked them out a little bit? This is easier to do if you clamp it in there too. Well, that went to night right off the bat. All right, we're good there. Perfect. Y'all go invest in one of your little handy dandy bender things. They make it a lot easier. I'm just too hard headed. I just like to do everything the hard way, I reckon. And in there, you see how I got them burrs? You can't see. Anyway, you see them burrs on them right there? You want to take that off. It'll just hinder your swivel on your nail head that you finna put in there. So we want to slick that all up, slick them up good. All right, now I just... I'm sure there's somebody out there with a whole lot better trap modification technique. Uh-oh, that dog done got torqued up out there about something. That's probably gonna slip off. No, it didn't. All right, now I can get my chain hooked back on there. Oh, that didn't swivel at all, did it? All right, I got it like I want it now. I had to do some bending with that, but hey, that's the way you want it to do. Just check everything. You have to tweak and play with everything when you're doing it the way I do. If you get you one of them nail bender things that you can clamp in your vise and it just whoosh, you're probably a lot better off. But my thing was, and I tell you what I did on this one. I got over here and you see I bent that nail off really tight. And the reason is I didn't want that bottom. When I push that trap down in that bed and bed that trap, that's pushing up on that nail. And I didn't want my pan hitting that. So I just, I got it too tight against it. I get my pan tension like I want it. Now I need to get this nail back in there like we want it. And then we're gonna go heavy duty chain right here like we want it. Whoa, no. Everybody else deer hunt today. Here I am fooling with traps. I enjoy trapping. Trapping is a lot of fun. All right, there's another one ready to go. Get it hung up over here on this other hook. And we'll spray some paints in it too. Let it be drying. Now I want a good coat on them things because one thing though, in most places, y'all, the reason you camouflage and stuff and going with earth tone colors is to hide it from people. If something was to come along and trip your trout and you not be there for a day or two, forget where it's at, you know, and they ain't had time to go check it or whatever, man, people will steal your stuff if they find it. If you got it where somebody can't see it, they less likely to mess with something they don't know is there. Now, some woodsman's gonna find stuff. It don't matter how well you hide it. But, you know, you make an effort. You do what you can. So we got 2 more of these. We got to put the chains and all on. I'm going to get them done, and then I'll show you. We got 4 traps ready to go. I've got to touch up the paint, obviously, on these 2, but we're going to let that sit there and dry. I may put another coat on there. I'm not going to paint today. I'll let it sit here like 2 days before I want to go set out traps. It's raining anyway, and hopefully, here before long, we'll put out a few traps. We're not going to do a heap of trapping. But we do want to get a little bit of fur so we have some stuff to play with tanning. I want to tan some things. I'm really trying to perfect my tanning methods, so we're working on that. But anyway, thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. We'll see you next time. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all.